I went to go visit Tariq last month, and he said Larry barely comes out his cell, sometimes not even to eat. And Larry don't need no pills. He needs for justice to be served and for them crooked cops to be indicted. That boy don't belong there. He's supposed to be in college right now.
The Peculiar Patriot is a love story, and it takes place on the visiting room floor of a women's correctional facility. So it's about the protagonist, Betsy LaQuanda Ross, who I play, and she's visiting her best friend who's incarcerated. And the audience is eavesdropping in on a conversation.
Junebug is 6 years old. Of course he's going to be angry and confused and acting out. He don't understand why you can't come home right away.
It came about through my work with incarcerated adolescents at Rikers Island. I was a teaching artist there for many years, and I also had a boyfriend at the time who was incarcerated. My whole life, my professional life and my personal life, was immersed in carceral systems. So the play came from those experiences.
It's just a really amazing, important piece that we're really proud to bring here. Franny Shepherd-Bates, who runs our Shakespeare in Prison program, saw the piece out in San Diego and came back and just said, I think this is a wonderful piece, I think this is a really important piece, and I think it connects strongly with our Shakespeare in Prison program. Shakespeare in Prison goes into, it was started at the Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility, and it's the only women's prison in Michigan. And we go in there and work with the incarcerated people there to put on a Shakespeare play. It is a very collaborative experience. There's not a hierarchy in that room. We work for 9 months with that team to produce the play, to analyze the text, to direct it. Everyone has a life-changing experience. It's important for us that our work connects with the community. And so to highlight our Shakespeare in Prison program, that is like our core community program here with this piece, and to bring our audience closer to the work that that program is doing is a real joy.
The power of art is that people are able to connect to the humanity of the human being as opposed to a talking head just spouting statistics. I have to credit my director, Talvin Wilkes. In the early stages of the development of the play, I did have a lot of statistics, and he said, this is not a lecture. He said, the play cannot become didactic. You have to lift it into story. You have to lift it into character.
She was talking about that boy like he was disposable, like he was a piece of trash. 15 years for what?
When I was a teaching artist at Rikers Island back in 1998, that was my first introduction to the prison industrial complex, as we know it today, mass incarceration. And I was there to teach poetry to adolescent boys, 16, 17, 18 years old, who were attending high school at Rikers Island. Yes, there were and still are adolescents at Rikers Island. And it was a correctional officer, my first week there, who said, he asked me, he said, you don't know where you are, do you? And I said, yes, I'm at Rikers Island. He said, no. He said, you're on a modern day plantation. And he pointed to the boys, who again, like I said, were 16, 17, 18 years old. And he pointed to them and he said, they're the new crops. That's the new cotton. In the antebellum South, slavery was too dirty of a word in polite circles. So they referred to it as the peculiar institution, as a way to, I guess, sanitize it. And so I took the term peculiar and I said, wow, slavery has morphed into what we now know as mass incarceration. So we're still dealing with this peculiar institution. And I'm a poet, so, and a writer, so we're always looking at language and what is a patriot? A patriot is someone who supports their nation, their country. And so if there's a nation and a country of citizens who are behind barbed wire, who are the people that support them? Aren't they patriots?
I hate this part.
People are walking out blown away, speechless, motivated, moved when you sit in the space and hear the reactions of the audience, the camaraderie as Liza's character comes out and reveals herself. It's therapeutic to be reminded that even a story that maybe to some of us feels far away is actually not that far away from all of us.
I performed this play at Angola Penitentiary in Louisiana back in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And there's actually a documentary that was just shortlisted for an Academy Award called Angola, Do You Hear Us? We found out afterwards, 2 years later, that the play actually activated the men. And since that performance, the men who were politically activated, they got on the phones, they called their family members, and they activated their family members to vote for specific candidates. So 2 black female judges were elected in that parish, a progressive DA, and a black sheriff. And as a result of the performance, which activated the men, approximately 300 men have been released from Angola Penitentiary. You know, as an artist, you know, we want to impact, you know, audiences. We want our art to do something, to change, to heal, to uplift, to enlighten, to entertain. You know, every artist has their own, you know, idea and intention. And I knew that I wanted my play to activate, but I had no idea what the activation was going to look like, because you never know. But I had the blessing of finding out the power of art and activism, the intersection, had direct impact on hundreds of men coming home.
Watch One Detroit, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.